Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, going to be carrying on with our free-to-play to masses grind. So I actually recorded it a few times before actually uploading this one, but after seeing you guys' comments, like, I did try and switch up the energy and at least like come a bit more funnier, but it seems like you guys actually don't really want that, so I'll just continue just to be myself. I'll try not to bore you too much with my analytics stuff. That's just who I am. I can't help being really subjective whenever I play, but we do have a few boxes to open up before we do play. I did open up some on last time, but I didn't obviously upload that one. I didn't really unbox anything. We do actually get the better of the gadgets for Sam, so that is pretty decent, which I'm happy about. We've got 44 power points here. I'm not really too sure who I'm really getting up here. I mean, Poco, you're probably going to expect a nerf with him soon, so I don't really want to upgrade him just yet. I think we upgraded Surge recently, and Jesse we're getting close to upgrading, so probably gonna put it on Griff for now. Griff is just an overall decent brawler, so may as well just get him up in some power points. And then the final box to see if we get anything else. Nope. So yeah, before we jump into the games, then make sure you're using the create code in the shop. That will be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, jumping into the first again, and so we have safe zone. We're currently halfway in between our ranks right now, so trying to get back to legendary. So safe zone, I mean, Penny could be a decent ban. Let's see if there's any other bans that we could go against. Maybe the Gus. I actually think Gus is a really strong pick when it comes down to a map like safe zone. You play incredibly defensive and win your lane over time. So looks like they've gone with a Rico straight off the bat, which is a little bit confusing, honestly. But let's see if there's any other picks. I mean, Max is pretty given, right? But maybe a Bell in the middle could be pretty strong, even though I have no gadget. I think a Bell in the middle could be a good match overall, just because I don't know, when it's Bell, like, Bell can actually deal with pretty much everything, even against like a Viper, against a Max, against a B. When it comes down to safe zone, she's pretty strong overall. So although I find the reverse polarity a lot more fun, I think Nest Egg probably is the better gadget for this game. Anyways, and then damage gear, of course. Speed, you're not really going to get too much value out of the speed, and then shield's only really good on like bounty or knockout. So just explaining a bit of my thought process in terms of gears, because probably a lot of you guys have got a couple of options with gears when it's power 10. I get this question a lot with like what gears to use on your power 10s, and to be honest, it's just completely touch and go. It's completely dependent on the matchup, dependent on the game mode and the map. So we have got a pretty good DPS composition, to be honest. Like, I feel like Griff can get a lot of damage, Lola can get a lot of damage, and they might struggle a little bit, considering Riv got a bow just randomly in their comp. Like, you've already got B, and then you just put in bow in there. Doesn't really work out. I mean, bow can be played as a lane when he's, like, extremely meta, like the best brawler in the game, but I don't think you can really get away with it in this meta. So Lola is going mid with me. A little bit surprising. So we've already got some mid control here. We can already place one gadget down, which is pretty good. Of course, you want to space out the nest eggs as much as possible. Gonna just completely miss that mark. Yeah, I just jinxed that pretty bad, didn't I? So time to heal up just a little bit here, whilst these guys aren't even looking to push up too much. It's like Lola is getting tapped quite a bit, and Rico making his way downtown. It's like Bo, he's going to get trapped right there, and we can just unleash so many shots. That's why I love Nest Egg, such a strong gadget, especially when you lose control. Just one Nest Egg can get you back complete control. So here I'm just going to continue to hit the safe. I know that I can of course try and hit the bow, but the safe is a much safer option if I just hit that, because then it will just automatically bounce over to the bow. So that's just a quick tip as well. I do that with Jesse a lot. Like, even though there's someone in the way, I'll just shoot for safe, because I'll probably just end up hitting them a lot more accurate if I do it that way. So I'm gonna get a tap onto B, getting a few taps in here. We're actually pretty low, but we've got the damage gear activated, so we can continue to be a little bit aggressive once that's activated, as long as we're keeping our range. Gonna continue to push this bow right here. Rico is having a great time against our Griff, but it is pretty hard for a Griff to push that lane, but should be able to get some decent taps on him pretty soon. Even though I'm missing my shots, he's literally walking forward and straight into my Griff. So yeah, although it does look like I'm sucking pretty hard, like even me missing my shots, it's going to do something. So I'm pretty scared that this guy is running trip wires. So I don't even know if I don't know if I said that right, but Yeah, I just want to stay away from mines, basically. We do get the damage gear activated again. Bo does get a kill, but we want to stay alive for as long as possible here. So let's continue just to be a problem in their spawn. We're up about 40% or so, probably like 30%. And we're going to be careful because these guys can get it back pretty quickly, specifically with bow mines or Rico. So going to get a tap onto B there. That's going to be a takedown onto her. And as long as we don't allow Rico to get into our spawn here, we should be able to seal off this win. So we're going to be able to get the super onto him. And that's going to be a win for this round. So just judging on how that game went, Rico 100% needs to switch lane, especially once that gets opened up. I feel like he was winning his lane a lot of the time, right? But he wasn't really pushing up and dealing damage, which you need to do a lot of the times. Like, it's good to obviously stay alive, but you don't want to just constantly keep control all the time, especially when they've got their composition. You can do that sometimes, like I see SK on safe zone. They go like really defensive brawlers and then push last second, like Bonnie, for example. But with the composition they have, I don't think they can actually adapt that strategy. Plus, it's really hard to pull off with randoms. But I get double tap right there, which is pretty damn bad. My voice still hasn't fully recovered, even though I literally speak most of the day. I just whenever I'm recording, it's really bad. This Rico has got the jukes pretty fairly well, to be honest. Just completely failing against him. I'm not really doing too much. My teammates are handling these guys pretty well. Overall, Lola's going to get some decent damage, so I need to get some nest eggs down. It's been nearly a minute and I've got none down to apply some pressure. Got to try and keep our distance against the B. It's really good specifically against enemy snipers is to constantly have the aim button up. If you wonder why I do that a lot, it's because you know, like, the distance you can keep between them, right? Because of course if you're below them like this, they're never going to hit you. So it's a quick tip. I think a lot of people know that, but that's why I have it up quite a lot. Rico's no, he's not going to confirm the kill onto our Lola. You know what? I'm just going to run up and auto-aim that. Okay, I actually auto-aimed the gadget as well. We actually stay alive here thanks to my Lola. My teammates are low-key carrying me right here, which you absolutely love to see. Griff's going to get some okay damage onto the safe. We're going to tap the B a little bit here, and we have 3 nest eggs in the middle. It's going to be really painful and hard for these guys to catch up. So we see the bow give up, which you don't really like to see. We still have a little bit of time to make a comeback, but they decide that we don't even want to try. So yeah, that's going to be GG's right there. There's just no way this guy's going to make a comeback. So that's going to be the first game right there. Really struggling to talk right now, so hopefully we can get through these games pretty quickly. Do get star players somehow and some decent elo. So that's going to be the first game. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the second and final game of the video then. So we have Sneaky Fields. So I literally had Shooting Star last game, but someone dodged, and I'm kind of glad because Shooting Star is such a boring map. So let's see who we're looking to ban. So you know what? I'm going to ban Max. I know it's one of my higher brawlers, but at least for a few episodes, I just don't want to go Max because it's too cheesy going that brawler every single time. So for Sneaky Fields, it'll be pretty interesting to see where it goes. So our teammate actually banned Otis. I mean, probably he doesn't have a higher Otis, right? Else he's just thrown away a ban there because it's going to be pretty easy. Yeah, it looks like he's probably, a lot of his newer brawlers aren't really leveled up. He goes with Gale, which, to be honest, at the first point of the draft is a little bit strange, but Gale's just pretty good everywhere. The Gale is definitely deserving of a nerf because it starts to become a problem when, like, of course, he's going to counter tanks, right? That's why he's relevant as a brawler. But when he starts countering brawlers that he's not supposed to, that's when it becomes pretty toxic. So they go with a Poco and a Sam, even though we literally went Gale. Okay, it's going to be a very interesting game. I'm thinking probably like a Surge. My B isn't really high enough leveled, but I mean, the Surge is probably a good play. Even like a Nita. Nita could be a decent play overall. You know what? I'm going to go Nita. Nita can be pretty good against tanks. Gale can go mid, and I can just deal with my lanes. So we're against the Rico right here. I think we should have somewhat of a decent matchup. Making sure I'm switching my gadgets and stuff. Oh, I mean, I probably should go damage against their composition, but because it's such a grassy map, I'm going to use speed just to help me with my lane a little bit easier. So Nita, definitely a brawler that was like seemed to be such an OP brawler, but I try not to go her too often because I still feel like she's a bit underwhelming. So they're going to have a really fast start. They've got Poco, they've got Sam, so you've got to be careful of that one. Of course, it's going to take a little bit of time for me and my teammates to get into the game because we've got Primo, Gale, and Nita Rise. So I'm going to take the Sam down. That's a really nice stun onto the Poco. I don't even know how we got taken down right there, but that is a nice kill by Max right there. And that should be an easy walk-in. So we're getting close to our next bear as well. You know, I put my upper down because I thought, okay, yeah, nice. We do eventually get that one in. Primo is actually underrated when it comes down to sneaky fields. I actually made a worst brawler, not tier list, just literally a ranking video. And, you know, Primo, I actually put a lot higher than people expected because sometimes he can seem a little bit underrated. And I feel like in this meta, it's a tiny bit underrated. Like, I wouldn't really say use him too often, but in the right setting, he can still absolutely pop off. So we've got some decent control right here. Unfortunately, I haven't got the stun, so I'd probably be able to score right here. But Sam's just getting absolutely destroyed by this Nita Bear. But we've got 4K Bruce Bear right here, and there's no way that these guys should be able to stop. Okay, that trick shot was just down bad, but we should be able to cycle another bear pretty quickly. Normally, I actually hit those trick shots so easily, but it doesn't even matter. Max is just going to be really OP Primo and just score that one. I know Max, I play quite a fair bit of ladder with him previously. I know he's a decent player, so he's playing Primo pretty well. They haven't actually got an answer to Primo. Like, Rico against the Primo, I'm not too sure why they actually went that, just because, like, of course, he doesn't have any kind of knockback or any kind of feature like that, so Rico was a bit questionable. I'd have gone, like, even like an Ems, just anything with any type of a knockback. And Primo again just goes ham. It looks like this Poco has completely given up, but I would say it is pretty much their fault for drafting like that. They literally draft a Poco and a Sam into a Gale. I mean, I feel like people in even bronze wouldn't even go down to that stupidity, but that is going to be an easy enough win. So a quick video for today, nice and simple. We get 2 wins on the board, 2-star players as well. We absolutely love to see it. But I don't know if I mentioned in the second game, but let me know whether you want longer episodes, whether you want 3 games, whether you want me to do, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 and only include the best 3. Just let me know any type of improvements, anything you want to see with this series, because I really do enjoy doing it. So that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.